not receiving enough video. Oh boy. All right, so guys, is this working here? I can't tell what's happening. Do I have to click go live, or can you guys not hear me? Hold on. All right, I think I'm going live now. Can't tell if this is going through. Hey, can you guys talk to me a little bit? Is this happening? Are you guys hearing me? Is the live stream begun? You can hear me. Okay, stream's working. Excellent. All right, amazing. So this is it. This is test day, guys. And for test day, we're basically, the day before test day, I'm just going to load it up for my phone as well. Hey, can you guys all right, awesome. Okay. So for test day, this is it. We got the test tomorrow for those of you who didn't get it canceled. I see some people did get it canceled. What's up, Marivi? Some people did get it canceled, and that's really unfortunate, and I'm so sorry about that. But, Vinay, yeah, you know what I'll do at the end of this? I'm going to share some videos with you guys. I'll do it right now. Here. So in terms of concepts, and there's two things that I'm going to recommend. Let's go to my channel here. So if you're talking about formulas, then there's a really good video that I made, but I'm gonna come back to that. First, I just finished this series. If you haven't seen it yet, I want to send this to you guys right now. It's all the critical concepts, and you can sort of, hey, what's up, Vivian? How you doing? And hey, Dina. So this series right here, if you want to click on it and watch it later, you can. It's sort of like it's gonna go through all of the hardcore concepts and principles that are going to be tested on the SAT for the math section. And it'll really teach you those ideas. A lot of people requested, hey, can you actually do ones where you teach the concept? So that is my answer. It took me a really, really long time. It's really in depth. It's under 4 hours, but it goes into great depth about each and every concept covered on the SAT. Then here's the other one. Somebody asked me about the formula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I've got this one, SAT formulas. It comes up right here. So I think it's become one of the top ranked videos on this topic because I go through 17, right? I go through 17 formulas that are really, really important. So you can check that out. And so those are the two videos that one is a playlist. The other one is a particular video for the formulas. And I would watch those, especially if you're taking the test tomorrow. Ruthwick, you're so welcome. And Lena, what's up? Let's see. Ayush, okay, amazing. Adam, what's up? All right, guys, we're going to go for it. And I'll take questions as long as I can after we conclude today. Like I said, if I can't resolve that issue with the no calculator, I'll just redo it. Oops, what's happening here? Not red. We need black. Okay. Let's go to the timer. We got the timer set up at 55 minutes, and we are going to start in. Hold on, I'm going to keep this below me, which is me playing the video on my phone. Uh-oh. Just so I can see if there's any problems with the stream. I'm a little nervous because now I'm using this new software. All right, here we go. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. A helicopter initially hovering at 40 feet above the ground begins to gain altitude. So that's already my starting point, my y-intercept. Gain altitude at a rate of 21 feet per second. So 21, which of the following functions represents the helicopter's altitude above the ground in t seconds. So 21 feet. So every second he's going up 21. So it's 21 times t. We're adding those together. Boom, done. Number 2, a text messaging plan charges a flat fee of $5 for up to 100 texts sent plus 25 cents for each additional text message sent that month. Additional beyond the 100, which of the following represents this cost? So we got, it's this one, because it's like we got a flat cost of 5, we're not exceeding, and then all of a sudden, boom, the slope looks a little steep if that's 5, but I think that's probably correct, right? At 100 starts increasing. This one goes down at 100. That makes no sense. This one shoots up, but hey, we're not supposed to pay additional for those first 100, so that's wrong. And the final one, D, makes 0 sense. So let's just eliminate that and move on. Number 3, Jake buys a bag of popcorn in a movie theater. He eats half of the popcorn during the 15 minutes of previews. After eating half of the popcorn, he stops eating for the next 30 minutes. Then he gradually eats the popcorn until he accidentally spills all the remaining popcorn. Okay, which of the following represents that? So this does not look like a spill. This looks like, I don't know, somebody just dumped a bunch of popcorn in his thing at the end, so that's wrong. Eating half in the first 15 minutes, this one looks right. Then the next 30 minutes, because that's 30, 45. That's the next 30 minutes, doesn't do anything. Then eats more and then spills it. This looks like the winner. Let's just keep going down again. C, gradually eats half. This is a refill of some sort. It doesn't say he fills it up at any point. And D is no. That's like filling him up, not eating it. Okay. 4, 28 minus x equals 5. What is the value of 3x? Okay. Let's subtract 20 from both sides equals 15 minus 20 is negative 5. Multiply both sides by negative 1. X equals 5. And then we want 3 times that, which is 15. So be careful. Don't just blindly solve for x. They like to do that and trip you up, even on these easier problems. For the function f defined above, what is the value of f of negative 1? That's just plug and chug. So they're saying plug in negative 1 for x. That's negative 1 plus 3 over 2, which equals 2 over 2, right? 3 minus 1 is 2, and that's 1. Boom, done. 6. Which of the following is equivalent to this? All you're going to do is FOIL. Boom, FOIL. 2x cubed minus 6x squared, and we're done. Number 7, a retail company has 50 large stores located in different areas throughout a state. A researcher for the company believes that employee job satisfaction varies greatly from store to store. Hold on. 50 large stores located in different areas throughout a state. Okay, from which of the following sampling methods is most appropriate, or the best sampling method? Selecting one of the 50 stores at random. That's not bad, because that sounds like a random selection of a store, but it's a little biased because ideally we'd like to do a random sampling from the 50 stores, I would say. It's not bad. Selecting 10 employees from each store at random, then this sounds better. So I'm going to eliminate that. Surveying the 25 highest paid. No. Why introduce that bias of the highest paid and the lowest paid? Why? Why not get the middle group? Creating a website in which employees can express their opinions and using the first 50 responses. This is a problem for 2 reasons. 1, maybe the negative people are more likely to express their opinions on the website. Number 2, the first 50, you're biasing towards those who are more want to say something more. And there is an expression in retail where they say that the negative people are far more likely to come and complain than the positive people go on and spread the word. So that would probably be a bias. Okay. 8, the 2 graphs above show the total amounts of money that Ian and Jeremy have each deposited into their saving accounts for the first 7 weeks after opening their accounts. Got it. After they made their initial deposits, how much more did Ian deposit each week than Jeremy? So Ian every week looks like he's depositing 100, right? 200, 300, 400. Jeremy looks like he's depositing 50 because in 2 weeks he goes up by 100. So Jeremy's 50. So it's a $50 difference. 9. The function h is defined above. What is h of 5 minus h of 3? So if I plug in 5 for the x, first I get 2 to the 5th, and then you're literally just plugging in 3 for x minus 2 to the 3rd. So don't think it's 2 to the 2nd, which is 4. Actually, what is 2 to the 5th? That's 32. What is 2 to the 3rd? That's 8. 32. And you have your calculator. You don't need to do this mentally. If you 32 minus 8 is, of course, 24. A researcher surveyed a random sample of students from a large university about how often they see movies. Using the sample data, the researcher estimated that 23% how often they see movies. 23% of the population saw a movie at least once per month. The margin of error is 4%, which means that it can be as low as 19 and as high as 27, right? If 23, margin of error is so how much below and above, right? Which of the following is the most appropriate conclusion about all students at the university based on the given estimate and margin of error? So let me just make sure. Random sample of students using sample day researcher estimated 23%. So a movie at least got it. It is unlikely that less than 23% of the students. Let's see. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that's talking about. At least 23%, but no more than 25%. That's the wrong margin of error. Right, it should be 19 to 27. The researcher is between 19% and 27% sure that most students see. This is not the right use of margin of error. It's not the certainty that he's got. It's 23% of the, it's probably, it's just not the right way to say it. It's probably D. It is plausible that the percentage, and nice how they use plausible, not certain or something like that. It is plausible that the percentage of students who see a movie at least once per month is between 19 and 27. That's the appropriate use of margin of error. Boom, done. 11. The table data, oh, did it freeze a little bit? Okay, hold on. Let me close out my phone. I wonder if that's also taken bandwidth. The table data above shows two lists of numbers. Which of the following is a true statement comparing list A and list B? Let me just check how we're doing on the stream. Is it still going? Yeah, all right, we're good. Okay. So anyways, table data shows two lists of numbers. Which of the following is a true statement? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. The means are the same and the standard deviations, got it. So the mean of this one, 6, 10, 15, 21. 21 divided by 6. The mean of this one is 21 over 6, whatever that is. 3.5. So the mean of this one is 3.5. This one, I bet you, is going to be the same because the data is symmetric. 5, 8, 12, 16, 21. Yep. So the means are the same. So that's right. And the standard deviations are different. And yes, the standard deviations are different because look, this is more spread out. This is more tightly compact together between 2 and 5. That spreads out all the way to 1 and 6. Boom, done. Means the same, standard deviations are the same. Nope. Means are different. We already said the means are the same. Those are out. Number 12. A book was on sale for 40% off its original price. If the sale price of the book was $18, so the original was X, and taking 40% off the original price is 60% remaining. So that's how I like to represent it. 60% of the original price is 18. What was the original price? The equation is already perfectly set up. Let's isolate and solve. Divide by 0.6. We'll use the calculator just for fun. 18 divided by 0.6 is 30. All right. Number 13 and 14 refer to this. Colony A, B, and C. A, B, C. A, B, C, A, B, C. Insects and treatments. 0 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and 8 weeks. So that one, colony B, is almost done after that point. Same with A. C has gone down as well. All right. 3 different colonies of insects were each treated with different pesticides over an 8-week period to test the effectiveness. Colony A, B, and C were treated with pesticides A, B, and C, respectively. Each pesticide was applied every 2 weeks to one of the 3 colonies over the 8-week period. The bar graph above shows the insect counts. Got it. Which of the following colonies showed a decrease in size every 2 weeks? Every 2 weeks after the initial treatment with pesticide. Okay, decrease every 2 weeks. So we got the initial treatment here. So the gray one goes all the way down. That's A. So does the polka dot one, which is B. Even this a little bit. It's just A that shoots. It's just C that shoots up. So A and B only. Not C. So 1 and 2. Boom. Numero 14 of the following. Which is the closest to the ratio of the total number of insects in all 3 colonies in week 8 to the total number of colonies at initial 0? Okay. So let's see. That looks like 19. I don't know. I'm estimating. 19 plus 10 is 29 plus 51. 19, 29, and 51. Oh, 19 plus 10 and then plus 51, right, is 80. Approximation. To initial, which is 80 plus 65 I already had that 80 there. Plus 65 plus, what is that? 58 maybe. So 80 to 203 approximately. Let's make it 200. Okay, and then they simplified this. So let's make it 8 to 20. Let's divide by 4 and make it 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 2 to 5. I feel like that's got to be pretty good. All right, so a little estimation, little ratios. A right circular cone. A right circular cone. Just so you can see what it's talking about. It's that guy. Has a volume of 24 pi. If the height is 2 inches, we don't know what is the radius. Okay. This formula is on the test. So you don't need, it's in the front. You don't need to memorize it, but it's not a bad idea if you haven't memorized. It's 1/3 pi r squared times h. Okay. So all we do is we set this equal to 24 pi because that's the volume. And we plug in 2 for the height, right? So it's 1/3 pi r squared times 2. So then and then equals 24 pi. We can divide both sides by pi. Goodbye pi. Multiply both sides by 3. 3 times 24 is 72 equals r squared times 2. Divide by 2. R squared equals 36. Square root. R equals 6. Boom, done. This is a test I've actually really taken. I believe I've taken this one for real. And if I remember correctly, I got this one wrong. That was the one question I got wrong when I took it for real. And it was the silliest mistake. I actually used the formula for cylinder instead of a cone. And that gives you 2√3. So they actually had the answer if you made that mistake. So, double check those formulas if you need to. Don't if you're a little shaky, just flip back to the front and make sure you've got it right. In 2015, the populations of city X and city Y were equal. From 2010 to 2015, the population of city X increased by 20% and city Y decreased by 10%. So hold on. So 2015, let's see, how do I do this? X and Y. Populations are equal. So I'll call them like W. Okay? And then 2010, wait a minute. No, let's not do it like that. Hold on, let's do it like this. So let's say in 2010, I'll just call it X and I'll call it Y. And then I'll say in 2015, X increased by 20%, so it becomes 1.2X. And population of city Y decreased by 10%, so it's 0.9Y. But then these two are equal. Then we're saying 1.2X equals 0.9Y because they're equal in 2015. The population of city X was 120,000, meaning X is 120,000. Hold on. And what was the population of city Y in 2010? Got it. And Y is Y in 2010, so we plug and chug and solve. Times 120, 123 equals 0.9Y. So 1.2 times 120, divided by 0.9 is 160. Done. 17. The volume of a sphere is given by the formula V equals 4/3 pi r cubed, where r is the radius of the sphere. Which of the following gives the radius of this? Okay, so it's which following gives the radius in terms of the volume? So basically, we're just isolating the radius. Equals 4/3 pi r cubed. First, let's multiply both sides by the reciprocal, right, to get rid of this, because I multiply 4/3 times 3/4 is 1. Then I'll divide by, so then we've got 3v over 4 equals pi r cubed. Then I'll divide both sides by pi. Boom. Goodbye. Then I'll take the cube root. And it's right there. Cube root of 3v over 4 pi. Cube root, it's this one. Sweet. Number 18. The table above shows the results of a survey in which tablet users were asked how often they would watch video advertisements in order to access streaming content for free. Never, rarely, often, always. Got it. Based on the table, which of the following is closest to the probability that a tablet user answered always, given, now we're limiting that the tablet user did not answer never. So we're in this pocket right here. Probability that they answered always out of that. So it's 30.9. We can just use these percentage numbers over, and we'll just add these up. 30.9 plus 13.5 plus 24.3. 68.7. 30 divided by 0.45. 19. In the equation above, a is a constant. The graph of the equation in the xy plane is a parabola. Which of the following is true about the parabola? Hold on. A is a constant. Oh, it's in vertex form. And the vertex is at 3, A. And it's a maximum because if you just got to remember vertex formula, it's the opposite of this, and that one is that. And because there's a negative out there, it's going like this. So it's a maximum. Its maximum occurs at 3A. Because vertex is either the minimum or the maximum, depending on whether it opens up or opens down. The maximum value of a data set consisting of 25 positive integers is 84. Okay. Whatever they are. A new data set consisting of 26 positive integers is created by including 96 in the original. So now we got 96. That's obviously the new maximum because the old maximum was 84. Which of the following measures must be 12 greater for the new data set than the original? The range. Because if the original value was 1, let's just say for fun, the old range was 83. Guess what? The new range is going to be 95. It's going up by 12. So the range. But it doesn't matter where that lower value was. I just picked it as an example. Clayton will mix X milliliters of 10% by mass saline solution with Y milliliters of 20% by mass saline solution in order to create an 18% by mass saline solution. I got this equation for you. The equation above represents the situation. If Clayton uses 100 milliliters of the 20%, so Y is 100, by mass saline solution, how many milliliters of 10% by mass? So literally, this is a word problem. It's kind of weird because it may be confusing, but it's actually pretty easy because we just plug in 100 for Y and solve for X. 0.1x plus 0.2 times 100 is 20 equals 0.18 times x plus 100. And distribute 0.1x plus 20 equals 0.18x plus 18. Subtract 18 from both sides, and I get 2. Subtract 0.1x from both sides, and I get 0.08x, right? 0.18 minus, why am I struggling with that? Yeah, 0.08x, and then divide both sides by 0.08. 2 divided by 0.08, 25, I bet. 25, because it's like 200 divided by 8. Now I'm going to check with my logic, right? Okay, so think about it. We are trying to get an 18% saline solution. That means I should be using way more of the 20% than the 10% because it's a lot closer to 20 than it is to 10. So if I'm using 125, that kind of makes sense to me, right? And then if I plug it in, again, my final mass is 125, right? So let's just do the math. 0.18 times 125 equals a mass of 22.5. Here I'd get 20 plus 0.1 times 25 is 2.5. Those add up. 2.5 plus 20 is 22.5. Boom, done. The first year, Eleanor organized a fundraising event. She invited 30 people. For each of the next 5 years, she invited double the number. So hold on. 30, 60, 120. For each of the next 5 years. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Don't even know if we need that. Just putting it out there. For each of the next 5 years, she invited double the number she had invited the previous year. If f of n is the number of people she invited to the fundraiser n years after Eleanor began, which following statements best describes the function? Okay, this is just linear versus exponential. And it's obviously increasing right? The number is increasing. But is this linear growth? No, absolutely not. If you're doubling, that's not linear. Linear would be going up by fixed, like it'd be going up by 30 every year, 30, 30, but it's not. So it's got to be exponential. 23, some values of x and their corresponding values of y are shown in the table above, where a is a constant. If there is a linear relationship between x and y, okay, so this is a linear function, which of the following could represent the relationship? All right. Let's see. I've got when y is 0, x is a. You know what? Just on that basis alone, I can eliminate these guys. This is not how I normally like to do it, but I did see that value. If I plug in 0, I don't get x equals a for either of these, but these two I do. I actually the effective method. And then if x equals 3a, do I get negative a for y? 3a, subtract, I get negative 2a. I do. It's this one, I'm pretty sure. Because here, let me try it again. Then this one, I'll do 3a equals 5a. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. And then for this one, I'd subtract it. 2y equals 5a minus 3a is 2a. Y would equal positive a. So it's this one. Then let's just double check. I'm going to double check this one with 5a just for fun. 5a plus 2y equals a. Subtract 5a from both sides. 2y equals negative 4a. Y equals negative 2a. Okay, normally I don't do it like that. Normally I would have like derived the equation. But I just saw that opportunity. I went for it, and it was pretty easy. It was pretty good, effective strategy. Okay, next, 32 minutes remaining. The scatter plot above shows the number of registered voters, X, and the number of people who voted in the last election, Y, for 7 districts in a town. Okay, number of registered voters, number of people who actually voted. So you have 200 people registered, half voted. So it looks like 240, 120, so about half. Which of the following could be the equation of the line of best fit? This is going to be... Got it. So it's going up 10 over 20, up 10 over 20. So it's a slope of 10 over 20 or 1/2, and it's positive. Boom, done. Now let's plug and chug and make sure. If I plug in 180 for X, for my chosen one, do I get 90? Yes. If I plug in 240, do I get 120? Yes. 25. The system of equations above is graphed in the XY plane. What is the X coordinate of the intersection? Hold on. What is the X coordinate of the intersection point of the system? So we got a linear system, and we just need to solve. And we've got decimals in the mix, but that's okay. I'm not going to mess with the decimals. Normally I would multiply by 10, but you know what? It's going to work out nicely. I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 3 and use my elimination method to get rid of the y's because we're trying to solve for the x's anyways. 0.3, and then I'm going to multiply this by 3. So 3 times 1.6 is 4.8x. Use your calculator here, of course, if you want to. Oh, shoot. It's got to be, no, positive, yeah. Plus 1.5y equals negative 3.9, right? It's like 3 times 13, basically. Combine, those cancel out. 2.4 plus 4.8 is 7.2x equals, and then negative 3.9 plus 0.3 is negative 3.6. Divide both sides by 7.2. And I get, that's like 36 over 72. It's basically negative 1/2 or negative 0.5. Now I'm going to make sure that that's right. I'm going to plug in negative 0.5 and solve for x, so it becomes negative 1.2 minus 1.5y equals 0.3. Add 1.2 to both sides. Negative 1.5y equals positive 1.5, so y equals negative 1. So that negative 1. So that works for the first equation. Let's plug it in here. If I have negative 1, that's negative 0.5, and then what I say x was negative 1/2. So that'd be negative 0.8, and negative 0.8 minus 0.5 is negative 1.3. That's double verification. I'm happy. Number 26. Keith modeled the growth over several hundred years of a tree population by estimating the number of trees, pollen grains per square centimeter that were deposited each year within a layer of sediment. Okay. He estimated that there were 310 pollen grains per square centimeter the first year, and the grains were deposited with a 1% annual increase in the number of grains per square centimeter thereafter. So I'm already feeling like this is an exponential equation. The way we do exponentials, we do initial amount times the amount it's going up by to the t power, which is the amount of time. Now, it's 1% annual increase. What you do with that is you take 1% and you add it to 100, which gives you 101. That's what goes in here, but in decimal format, so it's 1.01. Okay. Which of the following functions gives the pound grains per square centimeter t years after the gram it was deposited? So this would be decrease. So it's this one. The other thing you can do is if you're like, I'm not sure, you can think about it. You can be like, okay, well, you could actually say like in 1 year, plug it in your calculator. What's 1% growth? I think it's like you'd add 3.1. So in 1 year, it would be 313.1. Like plug in 1 for this. You get 310. Plug in 2 for this. You get like 90,000 or something. I don't know what you get. It's something like that. Same with this one. Like if you plug in 1, actually you will get this. But no, you won't. Sorry, I don't know what you'll get. But you can debunk it that way if you're not totally positive. So there's lots of ways to approach this. Okay, 27. Based on the equation above, what is the value of 3x minus 2? All right, first thing, I'm just going to distribute this. Or wait a minute. What's the better play? No, that's fine. Because 2/3 of 9 is 6x. 2/3 of 6 is 4. Minus 4 equals 9x minus 6. Subtract 6. Okay, so combine these guys. That's -8. 9x minus 6. Subtract 6x from both sides. I get 3x minus 6. Add 6 to both sides. 3x equals -2, right? -8 plus 6 is -2. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X equals -2/3. Boom, done. I'm going to test it. -2/3 times 6 is -6. Minus 6 is -12 on the left side. And then -2/3 again times 9 is -6. Minus 6 is -12. 2/3 of that is -8. Minus 4 is also -12. Boom, done. 28. The function of f is defined above. If k is a positive integer, which of the following could represent the graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane? Which of the following? Hold on. So we got k is positive. Okay, that's helpful. I missed that. If k is positive, that means we have a y-intercept of -3 and something else. So this could work. However, this should be going up, not down. Because there's no we need to have a negative a value or something out here that makes it'll just be x squared at this point. That's positive. It should be opening up. So those are both wrong. -3 and then a positive. This one's out because it's a +3, no -3. It's D. And then K would be 2 here. Numero 29, we're very close to the end of the multiple choice, which always gets me excited because when we get to the free response, it's going to be a dip in difficulty. The formula can be used to approximate height h in inches of an adult male based on the length L in inches of his femur. What is the meaning of 1.88 in this context? Hold on. Height. Based on the length of his femur. So it's basically for every, hold on. For every 1 inch, the length, hold on. So for every 1 inch increase in L, the height goes up by 1.88. So, right, and you can test that. Like if it's 0, it's 32.01. If it's 1, you add the 1.88, so it goes up by 1.88. Okay, so that's wrong. Increase in femur's length in inches. Wrong. It's that, but it should be for 1 inch in his height. No, for 1 inch in his. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Well, this is definitely wrong because why are you using that y-intercept in a man's? No, it's the approximate increase in the man's height. It's D. The approximate increase in a man's height in inches for each 1 inch. That's exactly what we said at the beginning. D. This one kind of confused me because it's not the increase in the femur length. I bet you a lot of people get confused on this. But again, think about it. You can make a little table if it's confusing. Watch. So L equals 0, 32.01. L equals 1. It's going up by 1. It's going to be 33.89. You see that? 33.89. It's gone up by 1.88 for one. The height's gone up by 1.88 for 1 inch in the femur length. 30. In quadrilateral ABCD above AD and BC are parallel, which means this is a trapezoid. Not that that really matters. And CD is 1/2 AB. So if this is X, this is 2X, is what they're saying. Easier than writing X and half an X, right? What is the measure of angle B? This whole thing. All right. The first thing you must recognize is if I can do this line here, I can do the same line here. A lot of these are hidden triangle problems. For whatever reason, College Board loves triangles. And that's also going to have a length of X, right? Now, if you'll notice, that's a right angle. These are parallel, which means that's a right angle, which means that's a right angle. Okay, and that's a right angle. But this is the most important part because we have a right triangle here. Moreover, this is a very hard problem. I'm not trying to, might be the toughest problem on the test so far. So I'm saying this, I'm not trying to say this in a way to say, oh, it's so obvious. This is very difficult, but these are the conclusions that you can draw to sort of get to your triangle. And then the reason why this is so difficult, by the way, is because we need to know about parallel lines and what's true about the angles. We need to know about how to set up the ratios based on, this equation. And then last but not least, we got to recognize that this is a special right triangle where the small side is x, the hypotenuse is 2x. That means this is x root 3, but that doesn't really matter. What it means is this is a 30, 60, 90. Okay, so the smallest side is opposite the 30. That's 60, and I know that this is also 90, right? That's a rectangle at a minimum. Could be a square, who knows? Now I need to find this angle B, because I created an artificial line there. So angle B is this whole thing like that. So it's 60 plus 90, which is 150. All right, we're on to the free response with 21 minutes to remaining, which is awesome. Lynn has $8 to spend on apples and oranges. Apples cost 65 cents each, and oranges cost 75 cents each. There's no tax on this purchase, and she buys 5 apples. What is the maximum number of whole oranges she could buy? Plus 0.75x, I guess, is equal or less than 8. Whatever, we'll just say less than or equal to 8 just to be whatever. 5 times 0.65 is 325. Let's double check. Plus 0.75x is less. Let's keep it less than or equal to 8. Subtract 3.25 from both sides. 0.75x is less than or equal to 4.75, right? Divide both sides by 0.75. See if it goes in evenly. I don't know. 4.75 divided by... Did I do that right? Oh, yeah. 0.75 is 6.3, so has to be less than 6.33, but we have to buy whole oranges, so it's 6. Boom, done. Let me just do that math real quick in my head. 325 plus 6 is... So it's 450. Yeah. 32. In the triangle above, A equals 34. Immediately put that in the diagram. What is the value of B plus C? Triangle sum theorem. All the angles add up to 180. Therefore, it is 146, right? Double check your math on your calculator. If you want, 34 plus 146 is 180, and we are good to go. 33. If the mean of the 5 numbers above is 1600, what is the value of x? So the equation can be expressed as such. Divided by 5, that's how we do the mean, and the mean is 1600. Now we got our equation. Multiply both sides by 5. That is 8,000 equals 90. Here, let's do it on the calculator, not make a mistake. 700. Got to be careful on the free response. 700, 1,200, 1,600, and 2,000. So we got 5,500 plus x. Subtract 5,500 from both sides. And we got x equals 2,500. Boom. That's it. If you want, you can plug it back in and make sure. You can even do it mentally. 4,500, 5,500, 6,100, 7,100, 7,300, 8,000. 8,000 divided by 5 is 1,600. Yeah. 34. The relationship between x and y can be written as y equals mx. So it's a directly proportionate relationship. If y is 17 when x is a, what is the value of y when x equals 2a? Wait a minute. What am I doing here? That is confusing. Wait. M times 2a. Oh, I get it. Okay, so I got my two equations, right? Really, I mean, I got this one, but that one doesn't matter so much. So I got 17 equals ma, and I've got y equals m times 2a. But I can do something kind of cool here. I can say that reformulate this bottom one as y equals 2 times ma. But I know that ma is 17. So y equals 2 times 17, which equals 34. Pretty happy with that, right? Hold on. Wait a minute. Y equals mx, remember the constant. Y equals 17 when x equals a. So I did that right? Double. If I double it, it should be double. Wait, is that too? That's too easy. Oh man, I don't know. I'm confused because I'm just like it's doubling, so you double 17. But I think it's right. I just want to make sure I didn't make a silly mistake. So y equals 17 when x equals a. Y equals what when x equals 2a? And then that's m times a, or if I did it that way, I divide both sides by m, 17 over m. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of another way. It's got to be right. All right, 35. In the equation above, a and b are constants. So the equation has infinitely many solutions for x. What is the value of b? Okay, infinitely many, meaning the two sides are exactly identical. That's what infinitely many means. It's like x equals x, which means that x could be 5, 10, million, billion, trillion, whatever, and it's always going to equal itself. Distribute. ax plus ab equals 4x plus 10. I already know that a must equal 4 because these sides are identical. Then what does b equal? Well, if a equals 4, these two are identical. 4 times b equals 10, which means we can just isolate now. Boom, b equals 10 over 4, but must reduce it to 5 over 2. You have to reduce the impropers. You can still enter an improper, which I think is awesome, but you have to reduce it. Okay, next is 36. In the xy plane, a line that has the equation y equals c. In the xy plane, a line that has the equation y equals c for some constant c intersects a parabola exactly 1 point. So y equals c, by the way, means it's vertical, right? It's a constant. Intersects a parabola at exactly 1 point. If the parabola so if it intersects at 1 point, it can't go like that. It's gotta go like this and touch that vertex. So it's hitting the vertex. Okay. So then it says, if the parabola is equation this, what is the value of c? So it hits it at the vertex. Let's find the vertex. Remember, the x value of the vertex is going to be at negative b over 2a. That's a very important formula. So negative b is negative 5 over 2a. A is negative 1, so negative 2, right? So the x value is 5 over 2, but that's not the answer. Now we need to plug it in because I need to get the c value, which is a y value. So plug in 5/2 for that and see what it equals. So it's negative 5 over 2 squared plus 5 times 5 over 2. And you get 25 fourths, negative 25 fourths plus 25 halves, which is really negative 25 fourths plus 50 fourths. Let's get common denominators, right? Multiplies by 2 and 2. Add those together and it becomes 25 over 4. Should be able to enter it like that's fully reduced. Or you can divide by 4 if you want, and it becomes 6.25. You can also enter that. Just make sure 25 divided by 4. Just don't want to leave anything to chance because it's free response. So if you make one little miscalculation, you get the whole thing wrong. Question 37. What is the Peregrine's... Oh, wait, what? Oh, here it is. Peregrine falcon can reach speeds of up to 200 miles per hour while diving to catch its prey, making the fastest animal on the planet. That's true. They used to be my favorite. I guess kind of still is one of my favorite animals, but I really loved it when I was a kid. What is a peregrine falcon's maximum speed in feet per second? So right now it's 5,280. Right now it's 200 miles per 1 hour. We want to go feet per second. So we're going to first convert the miles to feet. This is my unit ratio thingy. So we got 1 mile is equivalent to 5,280. It's very important in these unit ratios that the top and the bottom quantities are equal, just different units. And then I can cancel. Now I got it in feet. And then I need feet per second, right? So then I need to get hours going. So hours first, maybe I'll convert to minutes. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And then I'll convert the minutes to seconds. So I got 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. And see, the hours cancel out, the minutes cancel out. So now I'm literally left in feet per second. Okay, so 200 times 5280 on the top. 200 on top equals that. Divided by 60 times 60, which is 3,600. Equals, round to the nearest whole number, 293. I don't like those decimals, but pretty sure I did that right, so I'm not going to complain. Let me just make sure that makes sense. Let's just do it one more time. 200 times 5280. Double check the numbers. Okay, let's do it step by step. Divided by 60, and then divided by 60 again. Okay, happy with that. Next, if a peregrine falcon dove at its maximum speed for half a mile to catch a prey, how many seconds would the dive take? Okay. So, wait, let me think about this for a second. Okay, let's use this. Distance equals rate times time. All right. So first I'll get this in hours, then we can convert it to seconds. So the distance is 0.5 miles equals, we're going to use the miles per hour, right? Because I'm in miles. So half a mile equals 200 miles per hour times time is what we're solving for. Divide both sides by 200 is 0.5 over 200, which is 5 over, let's say, 2,000, right? Okay, so that's the time in hours. And then to get it to seconds, we have to multiply by 60 and then 60 again. So let's do 5 divided by 2,000, which is that, times 60 times 60, and that's 9 seconds. So does that make sense when we think about it, right? If I'm driving 60 miles per hour, okay, that means every minute I'm doing 1 mile because I'm doing 60 an hour. So 60 miles per hour, it would take me 1 minute, or take me 60 seconds to go a mile. It would take me 30 seconds to go a half a mile, right? So then if I double it to 120, it should be 15. If I double it again to 240, it should be 7.5 seconds. So just using some mental math, I'm like, that feels pretty accurate to me. 9 seconds, that feels good. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the timer. I'm going to stop the clock. Boom, done. All right, let's check the answers. And again, this test is the College Board Practice Test 10, but this is a real SAT that they turned into a practice test, and I'm pretty positive this is one that I actually took. So it's kind of cool to see it again. But it's also a painful memory because it's the one real one where I actually made a mistake, right? I got an 800s on 3 of the official ones I've taken in like the last 2 years, and this one I got a 790. And it is what it is, but it's a good lesson, a good reminder it was with that cylinder cone problem. Okay, here we go. We got B, A, B, C, B, A, B, C. Then we've got 5 is C, D, B, C, C, D, B, C. Then we got 9 is C, D, A, C, C, D, A, C. Then we've got 13 is C, A, B, C, C, A, B, C. Then we've got 17 is DC, 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 DC. Then we've got 21 is BDAB, BDAB. And then we've got 25 is ADAD, ADAD. And then we've got 29 and 30, which is D and A. So that is amazing. We got all those right. Now let's look at the free response. We've got 6, 146, 2,500, 34. 5 halves are 2.5, right? Both are acceptable. 25 fourths or 6.25. I think I put both of them at. And for the win, 293, which is a little nervous about, and 9, and we are good to go. Excelentes. Let's take some questions. So this is like a weird... This thing doesn't like show stuff. I don't know. I don't like this setup. It's saying there's one concurrent viewer, but I feel like that's wrong. Okay. Anyways, what's up, Zoe? We did it. 20 in a row. Yo, you're so welcome. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. That's my exact mission. That's exactly what where are you in the US, Zoe? Are you a high school student in the US? What's yes, Maish, you want to go to the Vertex Forum question, which was which one? Oh, Preacher, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Rama, you're so happy. I see you guys are chatting a lot. Hey, what's up, Uzma? Wow, Abdel. Okay, so anyways, which one was that? Where's the Vertex Forum? Yeah, it was this one. No, this wasn't Vertex Forum. Oh, in Pennsylvania. That's awesome. I'm from Michigan originally. I live in LA now, but I grew up in Michigan, so that's awesome. So let's see what else. And best of luck to you tomorrow, Zoe. I know it's been a crazy time. Best of luck to you tomorrow and for all your college applications and everything like that. I got 27 wrong. Wait, how? I just checked it. It wasn't C? What? You're right. I did get it wrong. What? Oh, snap. What a catch. Oh, no. Oh, no. I know what I did. You know what's hilarious? I made the mistake that I just warned you guys about at the beginning of the test. Look, I put in the value for x. It asked for 3x minus 2. So I did not get them all right, and I made the silly mistake. I went way too fast, and it was on that second line, so I think I glossed over it. Okay, check that out. Oh, good catch. Who caught that? Awesome. No, Raghav. Good catch. Good catch. Okay, so I was all the way here, negative 2/3, and I plug it into 3x minus 2. Negative 2/3 minus 2, and that becomes, of course, negative 2 minus 2, which is negative 4. Oh, I totally just was going with the flow and checking it off. Oh, man. Oh, Wayne, that's awesome. Michigan's the best. I grew up in West Bloomfield. Who else caught that? That was a good one. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Yeah, awesome. You're exactly right. I just didn't follow it through. So normally I'm really conscious about these little things at the end, but I missed it. So that's something that you can go back and obviously use that extra time for if you do have extra time to make sure you didn't make any mistakes like that, because that's just such a bummer if you get something like that wrong. No reason to get it wrong. How to get Vertex Forum. Which one are you talking about, Adonis? Which number for Vertex Forum? Maybe I don't remember which one you're talking about here. Let's see. Number. Oh, Robal, thank you. Oh, I went to Michigan, so in Ann Arbor. Awesome, Abdel. Can you explain first the parabola vertex equation? I just don't know. Look, okay. What's my plan for the future of this channel? I don't really know. It's going to depend on what happens with the SAT. So as long as it sticks around, I want to keep on helping people like you guys who are devoted. And by the way, if you guys could give this a like, if you haven't done so yet, I see I've gotten a lot of likes. I appreciate that. But any likes is much appreciated. All right, so you said number 36. See, that one's not really in vertex form. That's why I wasn't sure if this was a question. This is it's not a vertex form question. You can get the vertex when it's in standard form by using that equation. So the x value of the vertex is negative b over 2a. So my b value is 5, so that's why it's negative 5. My a value is negative 1, so that's why 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So that means the vertex is at 5 over 2. By the way, you have a graphing calculator. You don't need this per se. You could graph it if you wanted, but it's 5 over 2. And then to get the y value of the vertex, you just plug it in here. Again, you could use a calculator for this. You didn't have to do it like I did. So it's 5 halves squared, which is 25 fourths. Oops, 25 fourths negative plus 5 times 5 halves, which is 25 halves. And that gives you the 6.25. I mean, yeah, 6.25. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a day. So listen, this is it. You're taking the test tomorrow, and I wish you all the best of luck. I want to make sure that, yes, you can study and you can do things today if it's going to make you feel better. I talked to one of my students about that where he just really wanted to take another practice test. If you really want to and you really want to study more today, that's fine. I encourage it so long as you don't go all night. You're not studying till like 9, 10, 11. God, like don't study that late at all. Maybe study till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that. Then take the rest of the day off. Go have dinner. Chill out with your family, maybe a friend, but nothing where you're getting like excited. No video games, anything like that that can disrupt your sleep. Read a book, possibly watch a movie or a show that you've maybe seen before is what I recommend. So again, you're not getting excited. You're just slowly getting lulled into a sleepy state, a tired state. And eat healthy. You don't want to be consuming, if you can avoid it, simple carbohydrates, just bad food, right? Like fast food, breads, pastas, those types of things are not going to be a good idea. They'll give you short bursts of energies and then drops, and it'll make you crave that stuff the next day. Then tomorrow, same thing, heavy protein. I think eggs are great. Some meat would be great for a good snack. Almonds are amazing to take to the test. A nice steady burn of energy. Maybe bring some carrots. Fruit you can have in small amounts because again, it still has sugar, even though it's with the fiber it does help, but anything with sugar, I would stay away from. Caffeine only if you're normally drinking caffeine and your body's accustomed to it. Otherwise, I would not touch it. And then stay super hydrated. Lots of water. Okay. All right. That is it. You are my students. You have been coming and showing up every day. You've been working hard. I can see it. And everybody is like supporting each other. I love this little community, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I wish you all the best of luck. I hope these streams have been helpful. I hope the videos I've made in these over this summer have been helpful. Those critical concepts took me a lot of time and I put a lot of energy into them. And I think they came out really well in terms of explaining what you need to know. So I hope those have been useful. And that's it. Please do message me and let me know how it goes. I really want to hear from you guys. So you know my email is huzaifa@scalarlearning.com. So let me know your test results, and then we can catch up. Maybe we can even do some video interviews if you guys are interested, for those of you who liked what happened with this whole process and achieve your dreams and reach your goals. Best of luck. You're going to crush it, and I wish you a great test tomorrow. That's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.